I wasn't married very long. The next day, they drafted me into the Army. And my mama told me, she said, I had a deferment running the family boat because my daddy had a heart attack. See? So that kept me out of the service. But I wanted to get married so bad, Mama kept saying, well, they're gonna change the classification, you're gonna draft you. I don't care, I said, I want to get married. So I got married, and about 3 or 4 months later, I was off, sent me to Camp Shelby. But in the meantime, before I got there, there was this gentleman by the name of Henry Green, who was a bar pilot. He would bring ships in the Gulfport, and he volunteered his services to Keesler Field to take care of the crash boat division. And he wanted the Biloxi boys on there to steer the boat because he said the Yankees was getting on the ground. So there I was in Camp Shelby there 7 days, and I was sworn into the Army. They put me on a cattle car and run me into Keesler Field, and the first one I met was a big old burly sergeant. He says, who are you and where the hell did you come from? 8th grade education, no shots, no record, no nothing, just sworn in the Army. He was going into the Air Force, see? And I told him that story about the man wanted the Biloxi boy fishermen on the boats to steer these boats. He said, well, I got news for you. He said they shipped that crash boat division out 2 weeks ago to the West Coast. So they left me at Keesler Field taking a cadet basic with an 8th grade education. So we got through, we done some KP, and one day an old colonel come in and he said, boys, we racked our brains, we don't know what to do with you. But as of today, you're aerial gunners, and they shipped me to Las Vegas. And when I come home, I told Annie Vaughan and my mom, and they was crying and boo-hoo. What's the matter? She said, well, you don't know? I said, no, what is? She said, well, a gunner's life in combat is worth 2 seconds. But by the time I got there, it was over with. Wow. They trained you for a whole year, and they would have put you in a crew, with the complete crew, you know, pilot, co-pilot, bombardier, navigator, and 3 or 4 enlisted men like me that was gunners, you know, aerial gunners. And by the time we got to England, the bombing had stopped. So then they shipped us back, and we could ship us to the Pacific. And there was just so many of us that they just didn't need them. So they shipped me back to Las Vegas, permanent party. I stayed there and had Andy Vaughan come out for about 6, 8 months. And finally they discharged us on a point system. My base in England had incurred during the time they was doing all the bombing and everything, see, which they put you out on a point system. And there they had, that point level was up to 52. And they give it to the enlisted men, well, the men that were mechanics and all, I guess, officers, could muster them out of the Army, Air Force, because there was so many, you know. There was nothing for them to do. After they stopped bombing, there was nothing to do. Just had all these people on their hands doing nothing, see.